Hi guys, welcome back to Geturo's Mind Lab. Today I would like to talk about having a purpose, having a reason to to keep on moving. I know that it is very easy to give up when things are not looking good. It is easy to look back into your life and say that I have been screwing up all my life, and so I'm guaranteed that my future will be of screw ups. It is easy to look at your life and say that things are so difficult that you cannot keep going. That is normal for a lot of us. Just because they say it's normal doesn't mean that it's the way it should be. Normal really comes down to what most people agree on. And unfortunately, most people agree on the fact that we're supposed to struggle, that life is meant to be a struggle. And unfortunately, because of that, we find that most people find it hard even to get up in the morning. It is very difficult to wake up in the morning just because you're looking at your day and you're thinking, what is there to look forward to? What is there? What can life offer me today that it didn't offer me yesterday? This is a very common feature of life. It's very interesting that I was talking to someone a few maybe months ago, and the discussion of work came up, and I asked her, you know, why do you work? And I got this idea from listening to Earl Nightingale. I think he's breaking down uh, what's his name? Napoleon Hill. He's breaking down Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. And so he's talking about why people do the things they do and do they understand why they do them. And so I asked, why do you work? And she said that, well, because people work. And that's it. So you wake up in the morning, you go do a job, whatever job, because other people are doing it. You don't need to understand why, just do it. I've always found that type of thinking to be mind blowing because I've always believed that life has to be about more than just waking up and going to work. Life has to be about more than just your daily grind where you just wake up, go do your 9 to 5, come home, complain about it. Then at the end of the day, um, get ready to go do it again tomorrow. So I'm here to tell you that that's not the case. That I do not believe that living without a purpose, waking up and going is the way life is meant to be. I believe that as human beings, we are empowered to be creative and to build and create every day. So, why is it that we feel that we have to suffer? Why is it that we wake up in the morning and we feel like life has to be a struggle? Why do we feel that when we get good things is because we suffered and so that was a reward for that? It should not be the case. You should not have to suffer at all. I am not saying that you will not go through hard times, but going through hard times does not equate suffering. And this is what I mean. So, for example, if you don't have money, just because you don't have money does not mean that life has to be difficult in terms of mentally. So, if you're homeless, you can be homeless and miserable, or you can be homeless and take advantage of whatever situation it is. You can be homeless and find something to be happy about. The reason why I know that is because I have been homeless. I have lived in the street. Well, I lived in my car. And during that time, I found ways to entertain myself. I never really thought that I was doing this because, well, I'm out here, I might as well find something to do to be happy. It was more of unconscious mindset where I would find ways to entertain myself to not think about the current situation. And it also taught me a lesson that being homeless does not mean that life is over, does not mean that you have to struggle. Now, most of us, if we're sitting here watching this, not necessarily that you have someone could be at the library watching this, but if you're watching this, I want you to understand this, that from the beginning, when we were born, we came up in whatever household we came up. We came up under whatever circumstances that we came up in. But we never for a minute felt like knew what suffering was as children. If you ask a child of a homeless person, very young child, they don't realize that they are suffering. They don't realize that what's happening is not what we call normal. It would be more, their normal rather would be that they are outdoors. If the parents tell them that they're camping outdoors, that's how they will take it. If the parent tells them that we're here because I am not able to provide, then the child starts looking at the situation differently. And we grow up in those conditions. We grow up pre-programmed that in order to be happy, you have to live a certain lifestyle, that you have to have certain things. If you go to a third world country where they have nothing, you will find kids running around in the streets, no shoes, having the time of their lives. Yet, when we come to first world countries, the problem is not that they don't have anything. The problem is the things that they have still do not fulfill them. And that kind of gives you an understanding that things don't give you fulfillment. Things don't give you purpose. Things don't give you direction. Just like lacking things, Not having things is not what is going to make you, is not going to enlighten you. And having things is not what will make you enlightened also. It comes down to this. Your mental attitude is everything. Your mental attitude is king. And the reason why I say that is when you walk into a room, for example, and in your mind, the people in that room are not people that you can deal with, are people you go into a party and in your mind while you're driving there, you're already thinking, well, I probably won't have a good time. I probably will not have anybody to talk to. I probably have nothing interesting to say. See, these are words that you're speaking before you get there. Once you get there, you will manifest what you just said. And the reason why is because your words, I almost want to say your words go before you. Your words travel before you. So when you get to your destination, because you spoke into that situation, this is not a mystery. It is not a supernatural thing. So that's not what I mean. That because you spoke, something happened wherever you're going. No. Because you spoke in such a way, you primed your mind to see things that way. You primed your mind to already expect people not to talk to you, expect not to have great conversations. And so when you walk into the room, your mood affects other people. And so you find yourself sitting in a corner isolated, or you find that when people come talk to you, you are kind of short, or you have very little to say, because your brain is going 1,000 miles trying to process what is going on here. How do I talk to the people who I know they don't want to talk to me? I know they're pretending to like me. You don't know that. Unless they've specifically told you that they don't like you, you don't know that. Yet, in your mind, you already decided that this is going to be the case. Now, that is what I'm calling manifesting, where you speak of a situation and you make it happen because of your thoughts while you're in that situation, because of your mindset while you're in that situation. That is what it comes down to. That we program our minds into suffering. We program our minds into being uncomfortable. You know, when we talk about suffering, we really are talking about something like social anxiety. You know, that's what I'm describing, social anxiety. So you walk into a room and you already decided that things are not going to go well. And as a result, things don't go well. They don't go well because they are not meant to be. They don't go well because you're hanging out with a crazy crowd that do things that you do not enjoy. No, it's because you already decided that it is something that you cannot handle, that is going to go wrong. And because you decided that, every decision that you make makes it that way. You sit by yourself in a corner, you isolate yourself. Therefore, most people don't want to approach you. Then you leave this place and say, well, nobody talked to me when I was at the party. Next time, I'm just going to stay home. And you understand, the chicken or egg thing. You decided before you got there that you are not going to be able to talk to people. You sat and isolated yourself and left that place saying that people did not want to talk to you. And as a result, you refuse to go out and do stuff with those people or other such interactions, because in your mind, it was already confirmed that people did not want to talk to you. Now you see, that's a problem. It's a problem because social anxiety is a creation of our own mind. That we do not want to talk to people because we put things in their minds. We assume that they're thinking a certain way. And that is a problem. The only way that you can be able to overcome social anxiety is by speaking positive words to your mind, by affirming certain things to your mind. So, for example, you're walking into this place and you're going to say, before you get there, I am going to have a good time. I am going to interact with a lot of people. I am going to make a lot of friends. Once you say that, when you get to that, you repeat that to yourself. It doesn't actually matter whether you believe it or not, because the goal here is to change how you think. The goal here is to change how you look at life. So you speak these words in order to tell your mind, to prime your mind for a different type of interaction. Now, once you talk yourself into having a good time before you actually start having a good time, and you walk into this room full of strangers, maybe some friends or even strangers, you find that you're able to interact with people easier. You're able to interact with people because you already told your mind there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to protect me from. Because your mind, its instinct is to protect you from those things that you're telling it are harmful. You're telling it, when you tell your brain that this situation will not be a friendly situation, then your brain will act like it's not. It's going to be in self-defense mode. When you tell yourself that you're going to be amongst friends, that you're going to have a good time, then your brain is much more open. You're much more creative. You have a lot to tell. Because at the end of the day, those people do not know what's going on in your mind. They cannot read your mind. But they can feel your energy. And by energy, I mean, when you walk into a room, we've had that expression. When you walk into a room, the energy was off. The energy was off. Now, when you feel that way, do you expect that others don't feel that? That they don't feel your energy when you walk into a room? So having good energy is important. And you have good energy by the thoughts that are in your mind. When you have thoughts of struggle, when you have thoughts of pain, when you have thoughts of dissatisfaction, those thoughts will manifest whenever you speak to other people. So I'd like to encourage you today to change your mindset. Find a different way of looking at life. Find a positive mindset. So the thing is, we cannot always be positive. I'd be lying if I say that that would be the case. I'd be lying if that happens to me. No. You don't have to be positive all the time. But you do have to question when you're not feeling positive. What is this about? What is it about that particular situation that is making you uncomfortable? What is it that is making you feel so negative? What are those things that are affecting you in such a manner that you cannot be in a room around other people? What is that thing that is affecting you, that is making you feel not like you don't want to get out of bed? Those are thoughts that you create, and those are thoughts that you can demolish and start establishing new thoughts, and have a mindset of creating a positive atmosphere around yourself, and surrounding yourself with people who see life in a positive manner. Because if you don't change your mindset, your life cannot change. It does not matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how little money you have. It doesn't matter whether you're single or you are in a relationship. Those things do not make you happy. They will not make you happy. They have a temporary effect because we feel that, okay, now I'm getting paid, now I'm good to go. Now my life will be on point. But the reality is this. You have people like Jeffrey Weinstein, Epstein. This guy is out there, billionaire, yet in a shit ton of trouble. Because money proves that it's not a cure-all. Money is something that we use as a tool and nothing else. Money allows you to enjoy life more, but it's not it's not where you find your happiness. Living in a house helps. Absolutely. But living in a house does not make you happy, because there are many households that are out there that are broken. Living in a house. So that's the mentality that you need to have, that it does not matter what you have. The things that you have will not make you happy. The things that you do not have will not make you happy if you get them. The only thing that can make you happy is you. And how do you achieve that? How do you achieve that? And when I say happy, let me correct myself here. When I say happy, I mean contented. There's a big difference. Happy is just an emotion which comes and goes. Just like sad, just like grief. Those are emotions that come and go. But the one thing that does not go is contentment. Because contentment is a place that you're in. It's a neutral place, I would like to call it, where you don't have high highs and low lows. You can have low moments, you can have high moments, but you're never over the top. If you do get over the top, you're able to reel yourself back in depending on the situation. There's no time in your life that you have to wallow because of invasive thoughts. You can find a way to find peace by changing the way you think. And when you change the way you think, you open up doors in your life. You open doors for new relationships. You open doors for new opportunities. You open doors that you thought were once closed. You open doors for fulfillment. You open doors for wealth. Because there is nobody in this world that goes out seeking money and gets happiness. No. But those, or rather contentment. Every time I say happiness, think contentment. Nobody does that. But when you go out in search of contentment, you do find everything else. To accept your situation as is, no matter what your situation is right now, understand that you have control over your situation. And you have control over your situation because you want to be there. I know this is something hard for people to understand because it makes no sense. Why would I want to be in a bad situation? Excuse me. Why would I want to be broke? Why would I want to be homeless? What we want, the things that we want, we get. And we get them consciously or unconsciously or subconsciously. The things that we want, we get because it is easier for me to stand up, pick up my mouse, and move it across the room because that's what I want to do. I've picked up this mouse because I wanted to pick it up. I ate because I wanted. I could be hungry and still refuse to eat. That's how people fast, right?